The coffee mug shattered against the kitchen tile, brown liquid pooling like blood around the jagged pieces. My hand still hovered in the air, trembling, as if it hadn't meant to let go. Her letter sat on the counter, folded neatly, the words "I need to find myself" scrawled in her careful cursive, each loop a quiet accusation. I stared at it, my chest tight, the silence of our empty house screaming louder than I ever could. She was gone. Claire, my wife of 7 years, had left in the night without a word. Only this note to gut me. I sank to the floor, the cold tile biting through my jeans. The kitchen smelled of her lavender dish soap, a scent that clung to everything she touched. Yesterday she'd laughed here, her head tilted back, sunlight catching the auburn streaks in her hair as she teased me about burning toast. Now the memory felt like a lie. Had she been planning this then? Was her smile a mask? Her touch a performance? My fingers grazed the letter, but I couldn't bring myself to read it again. The words were already carved into me. "I'm sorry, Ethan. I need to find myself. I don't know when I'll be back." The morning dragged on, heavy with questions I couldn't answer. I wandered the house, her absence a physical weight. Her side of the bed was still made, the pillow untouched. Her running shoes sat by the door, laces frayed, as if she'd just kicked them off after a jog. I checked my phone, nothing. No texts, no missed calls. Just a photo of us from last summer, her arms around my neck, the ocean behind us. I thought we were happy. Was I blind, or was she that good at hiding? Days blurred into weeks. I left voicemails she never returned, sent texts that sat unread. "Where are you? Are you okay?" The silence was worse than any argument we'd ever had. At night I'd lie awake replaying our last moments, her distracted gaze at dinner, the way she'd lingered in the doorway, her good night softer than usual. Clues I'd missed. Friends offered platitudes. "She'll come back." Or "She's just confused." But their pity only deepened the ache. I stopped shaving, let dishes pile up, and avoided the mirror. The man staring back wasn't me. At work I was a ghost. Colleagues whispered, their glances sharp with curiosity. I overheard Sarah, the new graphic designer, murmur to someone, "His wife just up and left." Can you imagine? I wanted to scream that I couldn't imagine either, that I was drowning in it. Instead, I buried myself in spreadsheets, the numbers a numb distraction from the void Claire had left. Then there was Sarah. She started small, bringing me coffee, asking about my day with a gentleness that felt foreign. Her dark eyes held no judgment, only quiet understanding. One evening, after everyone else had left the office, she found me staring at a blank screen. "Ethan," she said, her voice soft, "you don't have to go through this alone." I didn't respond, but her words lingered, warm against the cold of Claire's absence. We started talking about nothing at first, then everything. Sarah listened as I unraveled, confessing my guilt, my anger, my fear that I'd driven Claire away. "Maybe I wasn't enough," I admitted one night over takeout in the break room, the fluorescent lights buzzing above us. Sarah shook her head, her fingers brushing mine. "You're enough, Ethan. She's the one who left." Her touch was electric, a spark in the dark. I pulled away, but the warmth stayed. Weeks turned to months. Sarah became my anchor, her laugh, her steady presence pulling me back from the edge. One night, after too much wine at her apartment, I kissed her. It wasn't planned, wasn't even wanted until it happened. Her lips were soft, certain, unlike Claire's hesitant pecks toward the end. Guilt clawed at me, but Sarah's arms around me felt like salvation. "You deserve to be wanted," she whispered, and I believed her. We fell into something unspoken. Dinners, late nights, her hand in mine as we walked through the park. I told myself it wasn't betrayal. Claire had left me, abandoned our life. But her letter haunted me, tucked in a drawer I never opened. I don't know when I'll be back. What if she came back tomorrow? Would I run to her, or had I already moved on? 5 months after she left, the doorbell rang. I froze, pizza box in hand, Sarah laughing on the couch behind me. The sound of her voice faded as I opened the door. Claire stood there, her hair shorter, her face thinner, but her eyes the same, green, searching, brimming with something I couldn't name. "Ethan," she said, her voice cracking. "I'm back." The world tilted. Sarah's laughter stopped, replaced by a tense silence. Claire's gaze flicked past me, landing on Sarah, who stood now, her expression unreadable. "Who's this?" Claire asked, her voice sharp, like she had any right to demand answers. My throat tightened. I wanted to scream, to ask where she'd been, why she'd left me to rot in her absence. Instead I said, "This is Sarah." Claire's face crumpled, but she didn't cry. "I thought," she started, then stopped, her hands twisting together. "I needed time, Ethan. I was lost, but I found myself. I came back for us." Her words were a knife, twisting deeper with every syllable. Found herself? While I'd been breaking, she'd been rebuilding, and now she stood here, expecting me to pick up where we left off. Sarah stepped forward, her voice steady. "He's not alone anymore." The words were simple, but they carried a weight that made Claire flinch. I looked between them. Claire, the woman I'd loved for years, and Sarah, the one who'd pulled me from the wreckage. My heart pounded, torn between guilt and defiance. Claire had left me, but I'd let someone else in. Was I the betrayer now, or was she? "I didn't mean to hurt you," Claire whispered, her eyes locked on mine. I just needed to breathe. I wanted to believe her, to fall back into the life we'd had. But the man she'd left wasn't here anymore. I'd changed, hardened, found someone who didn't need to run to know who she was. "Claire," I said, my voice raw, "you left me to drown." Her lips parted, but no words came. Sarah's hand brushed my arm, a quiet anchor. Claire turned and walked away, her footsteps fading into the night. I closed the door, the click final like a chapter ending. Sarah didn't speak, just sat beside me as I stared at the floor. The house was quiet again, but it wasn't empty. I wasn't empty. Claire had gone to find herself, but I'd found something too, someone who stayed.